This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana makes car selling fast and easy from start to finish. Enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds, down to the penny. If you accept, Carvana will come pick up your car from your driveway. Or you can drop it off at one of our car vending machines. Either way, you get paid instantly. It's fast, transparent, and 100% online. Car selling that saves your time. That's Carvana.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And on this Thanksgiving Day, James has a well-deserved holiday off. I'm Dominic Carter filling in for him. And I hope James is just relaxing today and taking it easy. And this gives me an additional hour. You and I together, a lot going on in the world. Obviously, the D.C. situation gives us more time to chat. 800-848-9222. So we see all your calls coming in. Folks, I got to tell you, the easiest things in the world for most, I don't know if it's because of my public life, are the most difficult for me. The easiest things in the world are the most difficult. So like, for example, I'll end up playing phone tag with a doctor for a month before we can connect up with each other. And say, doctor, please just text me or else you'll never get a hold of me. So last night, just my luck, I decide that I need to make a copy of a photo, and I do it at Walgreens, and I'm not thinking about Thanksgiving, even though I'm talking about Thanksgiving, and I'm like, okay, I'll run to Walgreens, but Walgreens was closed, and the Walgreens in New City and Rockland County where I live, they're closed today because they don't have a 24-hour pharmacy. So Liz in Florida was kind enough to send me all this healthy food. A number of you have. And one thing, there's a few things that really stuck with me. One happens to be some chips. They're called Lychee, right? They're made by Lychee. And they're rice crackers. I would have never thought in a million years that I could tell you folks that I would be eating rice crackers. But I'm like addicted to these things. And it says here, black rice with salt, with sea salt, right? 100 calories. Considering what I normally eat, this is very healthy for me. I love this stuff so much, and I normally order it on Amazon and get a couple of boxes, and this stuff is not cheap. But I forgot. I did order it on Amazon, but it's not coming until Saturday or Sunday, right? Once I get home. And I don't have them now, and I want them now, the rice crackers. And so I'm like, okay, I'll stop on the way home and get the Lychee rice crackers, but it's Thanksgiving, so I won't be able to get my rice crackers. I guess I'll just eat the Thanksgiving food, and that'll be that. Let's go ahead and open up the phone lines this hour. Bo Snerdley Show, Dominic Carter filling in, 800-848-9222. As it relates to D.C., horrible situation in terms of the father of the female of the woman National Guardsman that was shot apparently in the head and chest. The father says that his daughter is critically wounded and that she's unlikely to survive. FBI Director Kash Patel had a lot to say about yesterday's D.C. attack. We're going to go to your telephone calls, but I want you to hear what the FBI director had to say.
Begin my remarks and my remarks the same way, with prayer for our fallen soldiers, prayer for our law enforcement community, prayer for our National Guardsmen and women, prayer for our brave prosecutors at the Department of Justice and the offices of the D.C. United States Attorney. We must come together as a nation, especially on this Thanksgiving Day, and remember the sacrifices that so many are making around the world and around this country to secure our freedoms under President Trump's brilliant leadership and administration. I'll provide an update on the case as follows. It is an ongoing investigation of terrorism. Make no mistake about it. The FBI is leading out on this federal assault on a federal law enforcement officer investigation on many fronts. We immediately, with our law enforcement partners in the Metropolitan Police Department and the interagency, secured the scene, seized the weapon, sent in our evidence response team immediately to collect evidence, and started doing block by block canvasses. We are looking for and interviewing witnesses The firearm and other materials have been sent to our Quantico laboratory already yesterday for immediate analysis. That work is ongoing. Partnering with the D.C. United States Attorney's Office, we have also executed multiple search warrants around the country to include the subject's last known residence, which is in the state of Washington. The search warrant was executed on that house last night or early this morning, and it is an ongoing process. All the individuals found in the house have been interviewed, and some interviews remain ongoing. We will not stop until we interview anyone and everyone associated with the subject, the house, and every piece of his life. There's also subject interviews relations conducted in San Diego, pursuant to our ongoing investigation. So, as the judge noted, this is a coast-to-coast investigation being led right here in Washington, D.C., and this subject definitely did pick the wrong country. And we will rise together as a nation to show the world what we do here. And we are thankful that we have the Attorney General's brave leadership and President Trump's brave leadership and priorities to safeguard our communities. I also spoke to Director of the CIA, John Ratcliffe, last night, and Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. There is confirmation now that the subject had a relationship in Afghanistan with partner forces. We are fully investigating that aspect of his background as well, to include any known associates that are either overseas or here in the United States of America. That is what a broad-based international terrorism investigation looks like. We will provide continuous details to the American public while at the same time not jeopardizing the ongoing prosecution to ultimately hold this perpetrator accountable in our courts of law. We will provide as much transparency as possible, but as you can see, the breadth and scope of this investigation will continue. We will continue to hit the streets and hit every town and every house and talk to every witness. The men and women of the FBI and the Metropolitan Police Department and the interagency, to include the Department of Homeland Security, DEA, and ATF, are working tirelessly on this Thanksgiving Day. And I know just by talking to the leaders behind me that instead of going on and being with their families, everyone rogered up and showed up to work today. And none of them want to go home. That's the resolve that we have together as a team to bring to you justice for this heinous act of terrorism here in our nation's capital. And as the judge said, we will ensure that our law enforcement partners are out there in full force to make sure the world can enjoy our nation's capital. We will not let this heinous act of violence prevent people from visiting our beautiful nation's capital. And we will also continue to highlight any evidence that we can publicly. And as the judge said, this individual is in this country for one reason and one reason alone, because of the disastrous withdrawal from the Biden administration and the failure to vet in any way, shape, or form, this individual and countless others, and this administration has taken the rightful step to stop any further allowance of people with this similar background into the country, and we're thankful for that. And as I said, this investigation remains ongoing, and I think I'll turn it over to General Blanchard of the National Guard now. Thank you.
FBI Director Kash Patel addressing the media today, 24 hours after what happened in the nation's capital. Dominic Carter in for Bo Snerdley. James Golden with you on this Thanksgiving. 800-848-9222. Jim, line 5, Pennsylvania. Happy Thanksgiving, Jim.
Season greetings from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is Nurse Package, like a package under the Christmas tree. You know, that thing down in Jacksonville, I know a Brother Easy on the radio down there, but I live in the hood down in Flowers Avenue in Pittsburgh. I'm white, and I'm gay, and the brothers protect me. But you know what it is down in Pittsburgh? You know, the bloodshed and the killing and everything else. Religion, sex, Viagra. What are you in there, reporter? You're rubbing your
all right, Jim. Thank you for the call. Let's go to line 1. Roberta, Staten Island. What's on your mind, Roberta?
Hey, Dominic. The worst part about it, with these two National Guard people were sworn in less than 24 hours before they got shot. I mean, what could be worse? It's just incredible what's going on. And, unfortunately, the damage is done. And I hope this killer, this potential killer, doesn't turn out to be some sort of hero that people love, like some of these guys that do this.
You know what, Roberta? We got a call in between shows, and the individual couldn't hold on. But he raised a great point that I should have thought of, and I haven't. Do you hear those crickets Roberta, do you hear them in terms of the Democrats denouncing what happened in D.C.? Where is that? Have you heard Democrats denouncing what happened?
They're the bad guys. What do you expect? They love this kind of thing. What do you expect?
How could you love two military members being ambushed and a father on Thanksgiving saying that his daughter is not going to make it?
Terrible.
It is, Roberta. You know, thank you so much for the wonderful call. Dominic Carter in for James Golden on this Thanksgiving Day. I want to go to line two, Steve in Manhattan. Steve, what's on your mind?
All right, Dom, and what's on my mind is I'm troubled by what happened in Washington, D.C. with the two guardsmen being murdered. And I think it's time now that we just stop the nonsense and we get rid of the 65 Immigration Act, that's illegal immigration, and also the Family Unification Act, where they're able to bring in even more people. We bring in over a million people a year into this country legally. That's got to come to an end because we don't know who these individuals are, and it's obvious. Most of them are voting Democrat. A lot of them are voting communist, too, and also the illegals and the people who get refugee status. Because of open borders, every enemy of America has their people inside of America, and I'm sick and tired of seeing young individuals who are putting their lives on the line, being murdered. There's no future for them. And people coming here. Let me just tell you what they do with the Family Unification Act. It's got to
be quick, Steve. We can't go on a monologue. It's got to be quick. Go ahead.
It will be. Family Unification Act, you come here legally, you bring in everybody else from your family. You're guaranteeing that you're going to provide for them. Then a month later, when they're here, they say, oh, we had a fight at McDonald's, we're not doing anything. Then they go on all the benefits and welfare benefits inside this country, folks. And the 65 Immigration Act. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
And same to you, Steve. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. The U.S. Attorney for D.C., Jeanine Pirro, at that news conference today, here's what she had to say.
Now, Sarah and Andrew volunteered. They came here to protect the people of the district, pursuant to a crime emergency that President Trump rightly declared in this city and in other cities across the country. Our nation's capital should not and must not be a place where evil comes to commit violence, whatever their cause or motive may be. We should not have to live in fear in the nation's capital, especially by one who came here from a foreign country. And through a process that was so absurd that he came through and released into this country, as many were, knowing virtually nothing about his vetting. This is what happens in this country when people are allowed in who are not properly vetted.
Thank you, President Biden. I hope you can hear the sarcasm there. Dominic Carter in for Bo Snerdley. We're coming right back.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jay Kelly, the new film from Academy Award nominee Noah Baumbach. George Clooney stars as an actor confronting his past and present on a journey of self-discovery, alongside Adam Sandler as his devoted manager. Critics are calling it a declaration of love to the chaotic art of filmmaking, with the Wall Street Journal praising it as a transcendent comedy drama. Jay Kelly is now playing in select theaters and on Netflix December 5th.
The James Golden Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And Dominic Carter in for James on this Thanksgiving. It's wonderful to be here with you folks. It's more time for you and I to chat with each other especially considering that it's Thanksgiving and what happened in the nation's capital, not far from the White House yesterday. Let's hope and pray for the best for these military members. Not looking good for the female soldier. Her father says that she's not going to make it. Line 2, Bobby on the Upper West Side. Happy Thanksgiving, Bobby.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Dominic. So listen, I know you may not like this, and a lot of people may not like what I'm about to say, but somebody in law enforcement dropped the ball with this guy, because how could he be living in Bellingham, Washington? I know I used to live in Portland, and Bellingham is famous for all kinds of nefarious activity. It's right on the border. How could he be living there all this time with his wife and kids? And then how did he get across country with all these license plate readers? It's just, I'll just leave it at that. Thank you, Dominic.
Well, hey, Bobby, first of all, the license plate readers, they have to be looking for something, right? I mean, you can't, it's not Hollywood. You can't catch everybody. You're pointing to a conspiracy or something like that. You can't catch everybody. We don't have enough manpower in terms of law enforcement to catch everybody. But I hear you. I hear you, your point of view, Bobby. You were respectful in saying it, so thank you for handling it that way. And I'm going to this next call, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to regret it. And so to set it up, I'm going to go ahead and state this.
Dominic is done with you.
All right, Russ in White Plains. What's on your mind, Russ? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, Dominic. And I just want to say I'm sick and tired. No, I'm sick and tired of broken record Steve of Brooklyn talking about illegal immigrants when he's a first-generation American, okay? I've been here generations, my
So wait, Russ, so you can't even say Happy Thanksgiving Day?
What would be happy about Thanksgiving? It's where genocide and land theft started. I mean, come on. This is where Hitler learned how to do all the things he did, and others are continuing it. But, Dominic, I want to say, this guy that CIA trained picked a place on Thanksgiving Eve where there's no other news. Do you think that's suspicious?
Why would it be suspicious? It was diabolical. You know the word I'm trying to say here. He did this intentionally to mar Thanksgiving, and in a time when he knew it would make major news. I don't see what, Carlos, you have aspirin. Why did I take that phone call? Why did I mean, he wouldn't even say Happy Thanksgiving. You got some in there. Thank you. Why do I like punishment? Why? I'm thinking that the guy is going to say something nice because it's a holiday. And what does he enjoy doing? He enjoys pissing people off. That's how he gets his rocks off. But it is what it is, Russ. You are who you are. Let's go to Dave, line 4, Dave in New York. What's on your mind, Dave? Line 3, actually.
How are you, Dominic?
Good. Go right ahead, please.
I want to wish you a Merry Catsmas. If you have a cat, you don't call it a Christmas tree. You call it a Catsmas tree, because the cat basically takes possession of it, knocks it down, including all the ornaments.
My cat never knocked down my tree, but I got 30 seconds before the break, Dave. You got to hit it and quit it.
So I'm going to comment on what you said earlier.
Okay, just do it, Dave. You don't have to set it up. Just do it.
Okay. ABC News last night says that Trump had the final say in the asylum of those Afghanistan people because they worked for the CIA.
Oh. I'm coming in here to get those aspirin. I really am. It's time for a break. I'm batting 1,000 with the cuckoos now. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... There, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
The James Golden Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And Dominic Carter here with you folks in for James Golden. James has Thanksgiving off. My absolute honor and pleasure to be here with you. I really do enjoy working the holidays because I feel that we are collectively a family and that we should be together. Folks, this holiday season, help the Red Apple Audio Networks feed those in need. Go to redappleaudionetwork.com/turkey. Join Red Apple Audio Networks, AARP, New York City, the Police Athletic League, Gristedes and D'Agostino's supermarkets, and nationwide imaging services as we deliver holiday meals to more than 5,000 families across the city. Go to redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. That's redappleaudionetwork.com/turkey. 800-848-9222. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Line 1, Leon in Pennsylvania. Good afternoon, Leon. Happy Thanksgiving. What's on your mind?
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you. Hey, your boss there, you got a great team there. You guys are good. And Judge Pinero, I'm 200% behind her. And your mayor coming in elect, he better wake up and do his job. That's all I got to say, Dominic. What do you think?
Fair enough, Leon. It depends on how you define doing a job for Mamdani. His definition of doing the job may be completely different from your definition and my definition. What's your reaction, Leon, before I move on to what happened in the nation's capital?
It's terrible, man. And you know what? They got to start nipping the bud. You ever hear that saying, nip the bud?
Yes, nip it in the bud. Yes.
They got to do it. They got to show it, okay?
I agree. Hey, Leon, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I just got done eating. I ain't eating a good turkey like you, but you know what? One more thing. Did you ever eat collard greens?
Hey, Leon, I wasn't going to mention collard greens because I thought might be a little too ethnic. Of course, when I get home in a little bit, I think I'm having collard greens. I'm not sure. But of course, hey, Leon, don't take this the wrong way. What black person you know has never had collard greens before?
I used to be a truck driver. I used to go down on the East Coast, South Carolina. I'll tell you what, those women, the black ladies, oh, my God, I could eat a pot of their collard greens. Fantastic, great. Oh, my God.
They're very good. They're very good. Leon, thank you for the wonderful call. You still have a few hours left in your Thanksgiving. Make the best of it. Let's go to line 4. Melvin in the Bronx, New York. Melvin, please don't make me regret this and don't start lecturing me about history. What's on your mind?
What happened in Washington, D.C. is totally unnecessary and uncalled for. But unfortunately, the way this world is operating at this particular time is going to happen again and again. In the United States of North America, due to the private manufacture of weapons, is making it easy accessible for anybody who got evil on their mind to do things that's going to have a negative effect on the quality of that, is going to go ahead and do it. Only thing we could do is be alert and be vigilant and say, no, we're not going to tolerate this mess out here. Unfortunately, too many people have apathy and indifference in the way they go about doing whatever they feel they're going to do and let somebody else handle it, which is totally wrong. Every one of us out here have a responsibility for improvement.
Melvin, thank you. Hey, Melvin, did you do anything good for Thanksgiving?
Every day is Thanksgiving to me. I count my blessings after being drafted 57 years ago. And I say, thank you, Almighty Creator, for another day and the ability to put one step in front of the other. I tell everybody that count your blessings because every day is a day of giving thanks.
You're right about that, Melvin. Thank you for the wonderful call. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and thank you for your military service to our country. War Secretary Pete Hegseth, somewhere in the Caribbean, he was with his wife, and in light of what happened to the National Guardsmen in D.C. yesterday, he addressed the media, speaking before the media, the secretary and his wife.
On behalf of my wife Jenny and I want to wish America's best, our warriors, a happy Thanksgiving. We're here in the Caribbean about to go get on a couple of ships and have Thanksgiving meals with our troops. but our minds are also in Washington, D.C., with the two great Americans who were ambushed and targeted. And we're prayerful for them, for all those around them, for their families. We're pulling for them, and we have their backs. And yeah, we're prayerful, but we're also increasing our resolve, just like they are, that we will keep the Capitol safe and secure the American people. But we really wanted to spend Thanksgiving with the troops. There's no better way to do it. On mission down here for Southern Spear. We're really excited to get out there and go see them. And certainly, we're missing our family, but we're thinking about their families.
And we know that family is the backbone of your service, and we are so grateful for that. And we just pray blessings upon all of you and your families wherever you are today, and hope that you truly do have a happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. I was deployed 3 times, was always thinking about my family, and hope they were gathering with food and football and all those things. These folks won't be. We're going to bring them maybe a turkey and a little bit of cheer.
I think he's about to share something that he reads at our Thanksgiving table every year to the kids.
You're exactly right. I'll close with this. George Washington's Thanksgiving Proclamation from 1789. It started with this. Whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly to implore His protection and favor. So we humbly implore Jesus Christ, Almighty God, for His protection, for those in Washington, for those all around the world defending our nation. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. We appreciate you. And we're here to serve you.
And I'm looking right now at my Twitter, at my ex, Dominic Carter, in for James Golden on this Thanksgiving Day. James has the day off. Catherine Trunk says, at Dominic TV, so fantastic that you are on the air, extra hours. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Catherine, and your 96-year-old mom. Please send my regards, our regards to your mother, Catherine. I've already told you publicly via Twitter that you are a rock star, stepping up, working while also taking care of your mother. Absolute American hero. Thank you for what you're doing. The number to reach me, 800-848-9222. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. It was just days ago that Democrat Alyssa Slotnick suggested that the National Guard might start randomly shooting Americans. And what happened just yesterday? 2 National Guardsmen, a man and a woman, were shot by a maniac that shouldn't even be in the country.
Tuda Dixon, you're in Michigan, where your junior senator, Alyssa Slotkin, has been making news this week. One of the things she said that didn't get as much coverage is that she fears, quote, law enforcement is going to end up shooting people. The opposite happened today. So what are folks in Michigan saying? Are they actually angry with her? Is this breaking through to them?
Absolutely, very angry, and she will definitely be challenged in 2030 when she's up. But I do believe that this was a political stunt on purpose. I mean, the seditious 6, as we're calling them, they wanted to be on the evening shows. They wanted to be on the weekend shows. She was on the weekend show, as you pointed out. But you have to remember, she's also a CIA agent. She's a former CIA agent. She has been trained. She understands what these agents go through. She knows that the National Guardsmen are not going to get nervous and start shooting people. And yet she was irresponsible enough to go out and say that. Across the board, Democrats have blood on their hands today, and they need to come out and say they are going to ratchet down this rhetoric. They're going to stop saying these things, because not only did this man come over under the Biden administration, but you have all of these Democrats who have said time and time again that these guardsmen, that are ICE agents, that all of these people who are out there to keep us safe, our law enforcement officers who are out there to keep us safe, are a threat, or even that they are committing illegal, or they are following illegal orders. And then when asked about it, straight point blank, are these illegal orders? They said, well, you know, it's a little fuzzy. We don't know if they're illegal. They're not illegal. They put them in danger. They made them question whether or not they should follow the commander in chief. This goes beyond irresponsible. These people have no business being near Washington, D.C. We will not forget here in Michigan, and we will make sure that in 2030, Alyssa Slotkin goes home and she doesn't go anywhere near Washington ever again.
And that's the way that it should be. This is absolutely reprehensible, what happened hours before Thanksgiving. And here we are on Thanksgiving Day. I'd say halfway done with Thanksgiving, and a father declaring that his daughter, one of the two wounded personnel, that she's not going to make it. And let's just hope and pray to God that God has another will for this situation to help these two military personnel that sacrifice so much for you and I, for our country. And when you look at what happened in the nation's capital, not far from the White House, Dominic Carter here with you folks, in for James Golden on this Thanksgiving afternoon, evening. 800-848-9222. You can reach me right now live. As this happened a few hours later, President Trump addressing the country. It's important to listen to what the commander-in-chief had to say.
My great fellow Americans, earlier today on the eve of the Thanksgiving holiday, two members of the National Guard serving in Washington, D.C., were shot at point-blank range in a monstrous ambush-style attack just steps away from the White House. They had been deputized as part of the most successful public safety and national security mission in the history of our nation's capital, the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force, which has achieved an unprecedented reduction in violent crime and crimes of all type. This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity. The hearts of all Americans tonight are with those two members of the West Virginia National Guard and their families. The love of our entire country is pouring out for them, and we are lifting them up in our prayers. As we are filled with anguish and grief for those who were shot, we're also filled with righteous anger and ferocious resolve. As President of the United States, I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price. I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights that everybody was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it. His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country. This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation.
President Trump, and folks, don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour on this Thanksgiving Day, a live Katz and Cosby with station owner John Catsimatidis and the lovely Rita Cosby. That's coming up at the top of the hour. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Line 1, Joaquin, Pennsylvania. What's on your mind, sir? Happy Thanksgiving.
Good day, Dominic. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family also. You know, the first thing is, you know, it really gets frustrating, and it needs to be spoken loud and clear by people on our side. Whenever these Democrats make these statements, you know, about, oh, they're assaulting American citizens, they're disappearing American citizens. These are not citizens. These are illegal aliens. You know, you got to, unfortunately, they're going to keep pushing this because they want the chaos, because they want to take total control of everything, you know. And the other thing that people are not really understanding is the dangers of Islam. Because let's face it, this guy, you know, even though they say that, you know, he works with the Americans in Afghanistan, you got so many different sects over there and tribes, you know, that are at war with each other. But when it comes down to the bottom line, you know, Islam seeks to conquer the world, to conquer Western civilization. And they get, and their theology teaches them that they get rewarded for doing this.
And it's a darn shame. Joaquin, I wish I had time to follow up on, but I'm late for a break. Thank you for the wonderful call. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. We're coming right back with more of your telephone calls.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo. There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned. What are you gonna do?
I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
The James Golden Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And James has this day off this Thanksgiving. Dominic Carter filling in. I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex. Cassandra Van Pol says, Dom, happy Thanksgiving to you, your family, and your radio family. Same to you, Cassandra. She goes on to say, maybe best happy Indigenous People Day. Russ relocates ASAP to a reservation of his choice and help his preferred people. Amen, Cassandra. That's got to be the best tweet of the day. Let's go to Doug in New Jersey, line 3. Doug, what's on your mind?
Well, Dominic, first let me say you're my favorite guy on WABC.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you, Doug.
Sure. So, look, I'm a little frustrated by all this, with these little things going on here and there. To me, what's been going on over the past, 5-7 years since the previous administration is whatever enemies we have, whether big or small, they realize, we're at a point where we can't go to nuclear war. That is a no-go. So I believe that the plan is to destroy us from within, to break down the United States. How do you do that? Well, first of all, look at what we're doing to the Republicans, Democrats. We're pitting them against each other to the degree that they can't even have a civil conversation, radicalizing the Democratic Party, taking control of it. And I'm not speaking for Republicans, but I see this going on. So you have that radicalization of the process.
You're correct.
Where we're almost, as you've said, as people have said, heading towards something like a civil war kind of antagonism between the two sides. And then you have these radical attacks like what just went on with those poor fellows trying to help their country in D.C. So we just need to call it for what it is, and maybe the government knows what it is, and, maybe they've been dealing with it. We let all those people over the border because Biden was compromised, and he had to do what he was told by God knows who. So you had all these people coming over the border, no controls. You don't know who was being let in. And obviously, by what's happened over the last day or two, it's been a gentleman a radical, who went and did that attack. So it's insane. I mean,
it is, Doug. Everything you just said is true. I just don't understand, and thank you for the call. I have to move on. I don't understand how Democrats feel they have a winning message. You let a bunch of empty heads, Congresswoman Haight, Jasmine Crockett of Texas, basically hijack your party. You let AOC, whose elevator does not go to the top floor. They're talking about her being the leading Democrat, one of the lead for president. You've got to be kidding me. You can't be serious. You're the party of criminals. Linda, Long Island, line 4. Happy Thanksgiving. What's on your mind?
You too, Dom. I just want to know, at the end of the show, there's a responsibility for a soon-to-be murder. Why can't maybe Comer investigate Dr. Jill Biden, who everybody knew was just using a leash and guiding him around all over? She knew everything that was going on.
Linda, let's say for argument's sake, you're correct. How do you prove it? You can't just say investigate and go after her. How do you prove it?
Yeah, no, but we want to know. Let her be under oath just to say what was happening. Why is it that we're at this point that they're actually killing I mean, that's a murder. They're killing her.
How do you get the former president and the former first lady under oath? I'm not saying it can't be done, but that's a challenge within itself. Linda, thank you for the wonderful call. We have to leave it at that point. Folks, you want to keep it right there. The best show in radio is coming up right now with our station owner, John Katsimatidis, the lovely Rita Cosby, and their panel. It's the show where all the newsmakers go to. I'm back at midnight. Save me a piece of that turkey, folks, and I'll see you midnight Eastern time.
Thanks for listening to The James Golden Show. You can hear The James Golden Show Saturday mornings at 7. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?